Hello, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to the book review Letting Go the Pathway to Surrender by David R. Hawkins. I gave a little introduction about the book, but I'm going to go through it again in case anybody missed it. So, this book is dedicated to removing the blocks to the higher self on the path to enlightenment. We all are connected to our higher self, to our inner voice. We all are connected. Then, how is it that we don't hear? If we can hear the guidance from our higher self, then nothing can go wrong in our life. We'll be doing exactly the things that we are supposed to do and living a beautiful life without any issues, any suffering. Then why is that we don't, right? It's not, why is it so difficult? Why is it so not obvious, right? So this book is all about understanding why and removing the blocks to our higher self. Once we remove the blocks to our higher self, and if you are living in this moment, if you are doing what you're supposed to do, then it leads to the path to enlightenment. So what am I letting go? The book is called Letting Go. What am I letting go, right? We are letting go the obstacles to enlightenment. So what are my obstacles? Like, are your obstacles and mine the same? No. We all have, depending on the phase of life and where you are, the circumstantial things, the environmental things, where you're situated, and even within a given day, are you working? Are you with your family? Are you commute? Depending on that as well, depending on every moment of your life, you have obstacles in one of these areas: physical, environmental, social, financial, occupational, intellectual, emotional, spiritual, right? This is called wellness wheel. So if you are well in each of these areas, then you have a beautiful life, right? So if I ask any person, I'm pretty sure we are human, right? We have come here to clear our karma, to learn lessons, to reach enlightenment, reach moksha and go. So if I ask any person, I'm pretty sure they have, of course, I'm putting aside the enlightened people or the gurus or people who have reached that state of they don't fall into this anymore. But if a common man, if we ask them, they have issues at least in one areas of this. They have obstacles they are trying to, and not necessarily that everybody is suffering. They might have issues, but they might take it as a challenge and learn and go. Like, it's like this, right? In school, all the kids go to school. Not every kid is struggling, but that does not mean that all the kids know everything, right? Like, I could be in fifth grade. I take school as challenging. But I'm working hard. I work hard to learn everything and then move on to sixth grade. But let's say there is another kid who is actually struggling, who is not understanding the concepts, who's not able to learn. So the difference is, irrespective of some people, they don't struggle, in the sense, not struggle, but they don't see it as a suffering. They see it as a learning opportunity. So the goal of this is not to say that, okay, now that I let go, I'm not holding on to any of these emotions, I let go of everything. But why am I still not spiritually enhanced? Or why am I not seeing colors or this or that? No, it is not that way. A very smart kid still has to go through school and learn things, and certain age has to come, or things like that, right? So this is about people who are suffering, people who have obstacles in life, and how to become free of negativity, right? Very simple and effective ways on how to let go of those negativities in our life to achieve peace. Basically, the end goal is, what am I letting go? What am I achieving, right? You let go of negativity and you achieve inner peace, so that life is not frustrating. Life is not a burden. And basically, what this does is, what we learn is the inner mechanism of surrender. How do we surrender those negative feelings? How do we surrender that pain, that suffering, to let go of all the feelings associated with it, all the thoughts associated with it, so that we become free? And when you're free, you create, right? Creativity stems from freedom. You cannot create when you're all tangled. So you create. What do you create? You create that for which you came to this life, hence serving the purpose of your life. That is what it is. And it can be done in the midst of everyday life. It's not that I have to become a sannyasini, I have to become like renounce everything that I'm doing, I have to give up, I have to go to Himalayas. That's not topics that we are going to discuss, is all that. How to, the mechanism of letting go, the anatomy of emotions. Before letting go, we need to understand emotions. And I think we did a lot of it in the previous book review, The Gift of Imperfections. We are going to continue on that. And we are going to talk about different emotions, depression, fear, and all those things. And we are going to talk about how to reduce stress and physical illness and relationship between mind and body. This is very, very important. How our mind thinks, our body reacts to that way. So if we can control the mind, then body automatically falls in place. And the benefits of letting go, transformation, relationships, and achievement of vocational goals, and physician heal thyself. Once you learn how to control your mind, you will become automatically a physician. You don't need medicines and everything. You know how to heal yourself. So these are the topics that we are going to talk about. And this is about the author, Dr. David Hawkins. He is known as the teacher of the way to enlightenment. He's an internationally known spiritual teacher. He has written so many books. And he's the author and speaker on the subject of advanced spiritual states and consciousness research and everything. And he actually practiced psychiatry for a very long time. While practicing psychiatry is when he tried to understand, why are people suffering so much, right? What can I do? How can I help, kind of thing. And he also is a consultant for foreign governments and international diplomacy. Great guy. So there is a saying in Bible called, the kingdom of heaven is within you. If heaven is within me, then why do we often feel like hell? Why do I go through all this suffering, the pain, right? How can something which is so within us, such close to reach, it's not somewhere very far. It's, you don't have to go anywhere. You don't need anything. You just have to go inwards and see inside. If it is so close to me, why it is so difficult to attain, right? And why all this unhappiness and all these things? Is there really a way to shake off the mud and be free? So basically, Rumi, one, I really love the saying by Rumi. He says that your task is not to seek for love, because love is already within us. It is just to remove all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. That is exactly what we are going to learn. We have built so many barriers because of our thought process. We have built so many barriers. Like in Mission Impossible, Tom Cruise goes and he tries to get the treasure of something that is put inside, right? It is not that difficult. He tries to, like, it is all. So basically the point is, it is already there. Whatever you want is already there. It's not that you have to create something, or you have to buy something, or you have to build something. It is already there. It is already here. But we have put so many barriers around it because of our ego, because of ourself. Once you start shedding all those things, it's like peeling the layers of the onion. Inside, the secret is already there. You have to just peel it off to reveal it, right? So that's what we are going to learn, how to let go and go to the center of it. So we always grew up saying that no pain, no gain. You have to work hard. Nothing comes easy in life. Author says that that's not needed. Utilize the mechanism of surrender instead of mechanism of effort. If you surrender, so when can you surrender? You can surrender only if you have faith. If you see your young toddler, right? They hold your hand. They can walk in that. They don't care about the traffic. They are not intimidated by the big trucks and vans. They know that I'm holding my mom's hand. She will take me through the crosswalk and I am safe, right? The kid never worries about their safety as long as they are with their parents when they are young, right? What is that? That is blind faith. That is blind faith that no matter what, I don't even have to worry about the cars that are coming. Because if something big comes, my mom will lift me up and walk. That kid has known all those things. That is faith. When you have that faith, they completely surrendered themselves to their parents, right? So for us, we as grown-ups, what do? We completely surrender to some universal force. I just challenge you, any problem you have for a moment, you don't have to try big. When you're totally confused, the best action you can do is not doing anything. Just let it go. Be there and see what happens. Life will move on. Life will not become standstill just because you gave up on something, right? There is a difference between giving up completely and giving up not doing anything. We'll talk about it later. But the point is, trust in the higher self, trust in the universal knowledge. Who is actually doing all this? The planetary motions, everything keeping in place. There is some bigger force than us, right? If you can trust in that force and you surrender, that is much easier way than putting so much effort, constantly working and struggling to get something. So this book, it provides a roadmap to a freer life. And the major requirement for this journey is a willingness to let go of the attachment to your current experience of life. Oftentimes what happens is we are so in the comfort zone, right? We are so much in the comfort zone, we don't want to get out of it. That is the reason, actually, there was a research done on abusive women in not just one country, in several cultures. There is this organization which helps women who have been abused. And they have done a lot of research on different cultures, women coming from different cultures and different backgrounds and different economies. It is not just that people who are poor or who are not educated. It is like in every sector. When they saw a lot of women, they are not ready to complain against their spouse of domestic violence because, or not come out of that relationship, because they know that even though I know this is hell, I'm certain of what is going to come. He's going to drink tomorrow and come and hit me. At least I'm certain of that. Tomorrow, if I get out, I don't know. I'm scared of the uncertainty. I don't know what else. They can only think of bad things that could happen to them because, I mean, there is nothing wrong with it because they have been so suffering so much. They cannot even think positively and they cannot see a ray of light. So they will be like, what if I get out of here? At least I know here what is going to happen. If I get out of this place, how do I even like embrace what is going to be? What if it's even worse than this? So I don't want to get out of my comfort zone. I would rather sit in this hell. That is, I'm giving you the example of abusive women. We all are being abused by the circumstances and situations of life, and we prefer to stay it that way. I'm really not kidding. Think of it in that. It's very easy for us to say, oh my God, what is wrong with you? Why can't you come out? It's very easy to give them advice standing outside, right? So we all are so attached to the circumstances of our life. If I tell you that, let's say you have a huge mortgage on this house, if I tell you that just get out of the house, you don't need such a big house, go into a 2-bedroom apartment, then figure out what to do. Oh my God, I lived in this house for 10 years or 50 years. How? No, I cannot get out of. We don't want to. We are so attached with everything. We don't want to step out of the comfort zone. Most people fall into that category. There is nothing wrong with it, but you will not grow, right? Even I do that. I'm so comfortable with my current job, the working from home option. I'm always thinking that if I interview elsewhere and go, what if I lose this freedom? But I don't know. What if I worked at places before this, but what if there is a place where I can do the same? I don't know. Because of the unknown, I'm not ready to step out. I'm trying to find reasons and excuses to stay within this comfort zone. So we have to start small. We have to start small on letting go of some things, getting out of our comfort zone for very little things. The small part of ourselves is attached to the familiar, even though it is painful or inefficient, right? That's what it is. I want to show you something. I actually write down affirmations 108 times. And I don't know if you can see this. Look at this one versus the last. So the sentence is, all my experiences are right for me. So I wanted to practice little by little getting out of my comfort zone. So I started writing with my left hand. While writing with my left hand, because everything is autopilot, right? Usually our conscious mind is, so it is actually getting worse. At least when I started, it was good. It has become so illegible. Look at this. You can't even understand what I write. But I don't want to give it up. I want to write because this is my way of getting out of the comfort zone and what the journey is, how it feels. This is very tiny, right? I mean, it's not going to impact anything. But what happened when I got out of the, with right hand, I write very fast. With left, I'm really struggling. I'm even paused to even write X, right? You write X like this. Here I have to, so I'm used to writing like this. Now I'm like, oh, with this hand, do I go this way? I'm thinking of writing the basic alphabet. When you pause in life, when you don't do things in autopilot mode, it actually opens up new venues and it really brings a change. So I want you to try doing, if you're doing something with the right hand, try doing with left hand. If you're try doing it a certain way, if you always used to putting your cup on the right side, put it on the left side and see what happens. It really makes you think. It shakes your autopilot mode. I think you should all do that and try it out. That's how Atomic Habits, I'm reading this other book called Atomic Habits on Angna. I'll answer all the questions at the end, okay? So how to change is you have to become that person. How can you become that person is through Atomic Habits, atomic, that's small. Like start very, very small, but try to do it every day so that it becomes new autopilot, right? Rewrite your autopilot mode kind of thing. The answer to the problems we face is within us. So there is, consciousness is of three types: individual consciousness, collective consciousness, and universal consciousness. So universal consciousness is one consciousness, right? It is all powerful. We all have it, but we are very far. Most of us are still in the individual consciousness where it is about me. It is about me, I, me, self, ego, my people, my house. Everybody is individual, right? That is individual consciousness. Collective consciousness is when you join a group, when you're doing big, when you are together collectively doing something, causing a bigger difference, right? That is collective consciousness. Universal consciousness is you have become one consciousness. You have, so this universe has so much. You can tap into that. Once you grow into that, you can tap into that and you can get, everything becomes smooth in life. It's like all the answers are there, right? When we let go of inner blocks, our inner self, it shines forth, because all the mud, even for other person to see us, right? When you look at me, the purity of me will come forth only when I have shed all the layers of negativity. Like, some people, when you look at some people and say, I don't know why that person repels. I cannot even talk to that person. I cannot stand that person. That means there is something in them that is, the veil is there. And some people you see, you feel so calm. They are like, you feel like, oh my God, they are like so nice. You can feel their love. You can feel their acceptance. You feel that, oh, this person will not judge me. For some people, you can be, when you have to say something about yourself, like, how do you introduce yourself? I'm this, I'm so and so, I do this, I do that. How you introduce yourself, just pay attention to that whenever you meet a new friend or anybody, right? How do you introduce yourself? Are you being very careful, very cautious? You're not telling everything. It all depends on how you see the other person, right? So once you go farther and farther, you feel the path to peace is revealed. And we are all part of that whole, right? We are all part of the universal consciousness. It's not that we are different. We are all drops of the ocean. Once we realize we are a drop of an ocean, whatever, again, all the water is connected, right? Then we realize that each drop has the same properties of the ocean. The moment we realize that, that's huge, right? Instead of thinking I'm alone, if you think you are part of an ocean, just imagine the power of that. And personal healing emerges collective healing. Once you can heal yourself, you know how to heal others. You know how to share that knowledge. And always, the entire paropakarartham idam sariram, right? If you see nature, right? If you see nature, how it was made, like waterfalls or trees or animals or anything, they are not doing something for their own. Like waterfall, when it rains on everybody, irrespective of, oh, you're a good person, I'm not going to rain on you. You're a good person, I'll rain on you. I'll not rain on that bad guy. It is not like that. We are also nature. We are also creation of God, right? So what is our purpose? Our purpose is also to help others. But unfortunately, we are so stuck in the me, myself, my world kind of thing that we don't even think of helping others. Helping others is okay, you have money, it is also help. You have a lot of money, you're giving it to charity, that is also good. But if you can, that is also there, right? I have the ability to earn money. I have earned a lot of money. Now I'm parting with my what I earned so that it will benefit somebody else. Fine, that is one level of helping. The kind of happiness you get. So are you happy? If you're happy with parting your money and it is helping people, that's fine. If you're still not happy, then see what can I do? What is it that I know? What is my unique skill set that I can impart with others so that it will uplift the life of somebody, right? The more you heal yourself or the more you let go of your negative emotions, you are at a place where you're thinking about others. You're thinking about others. Then the moment you start thinking about others, your problems will become smaller and smaller, because when you're helping others, you are in touch with people whose lives are way worse than yours. In helping them, it's like, how to make a line smaller, draw a bigger line next to it. Always see people who are suffering more than you, then automatically your problems will become smaller. That does not discount that you don't have a problem, but the weight you give to that problem goes dramatically down, and your suffering is directly proportional to how much weight you associate with each problem of yours, right? The mechanism of surrender, how does it work? First, if any situation happens, we suppress our feelings. When we suppress our feelings, then that becomes suppressed energy, right? Feelings are energy. It becomes suppressed energy. The more you keep suppressing, like, it might not feel big. Then once you suppress here, today, tomorrow, day after 5 years, that accumulates, right? All that accumulates. And now that energy has to seek expression, right? How does it manifest? It manifests through psychosomatic distress. What is psychosomatic distress? In the form of pains and pain body or some illness, something, right? You have no reason how it happened. Now, when that seeks expression, now accumulated feelings block spiritual growth and awareness. When you get lot of sickness, like in the name of physical illness or mental illness or anything, again, you go through that map of consciousness, you will start feeling ashamed to go into public. You will be scared. You will feel guilty of something. All those grief, like if somebody passes away, or even grief is not necessarily death. Grief is losing something. I lost something that I dearly love. That creates grief. So when you have all these suppressed feelings, suppressed emotions, you are circling in that lower emotions. When you are in that, you are blocking your spiritual awareness and spiritual growth, right? And we block success in many areas of our life when we are dealing with suppressed emotions. The mechanism of surrender is going to help in not going through this vicious cycle, right? Mechanism of surrender is the technique of letting go. How do you let go of things? By surrendering these feelings to the higher consciousness, to the universe, saying that once you do that, all the things associated with it will drop off. System of eliminating obstacles and attachments. The mind with its thoughts is driven by feelings. So thought in itself is not problem. I have a thought. It's not a problem. So many in Headspace, I don't know how many of you have used Headspace in Netflix for meditation. The first lesson he says is, he's a Buddhist monk. The first lesson he says is, you are sitting on a freeway, the cars are going. You're sitting on a bench on the side of the freeway. All the cars are going. Do they bother you? No, you're looking at the cars. One is black, one is green, one is Mercedes, one is this, one is Toyota, whatever. You're looking at, those are your thoughts in your mind. When do they start bothering you? When you get attached to them. If you go and stand in the middle of the road, what will happen? It definitely will crush you and you are going to have a broken bones. You will suffer pain. That is exactly what is happening. When you start attaching feelings to your thoughts, that's when that lump will create. Each feeling is a cumulative derivative of many thousands of thoughts. Many thousands of thoughts create one feeling. Just imagine how many feelings do we have? We feel about everything. We have a feeling about everything. So just imagine how many millions of thoughts should we have every day to be so receptive, right? What are the benefits of letting go? So first, elimination of suppressed emotions has a positive health benefit. You won't feel because see, the thing is, when feelings are energy, they are suppressed, they're weighing you down. It is drain of so much of vitality. It's like life sucking out of you, right? So elimination of suppressed emotions has a positive health benefit, obviously. Once you feel physically strong, your behavior also changes, right? Progressive decrease of negative emotions increases in vitality. And since all negative feelings are surrendered, positive feelings increase, resulting in see, it is displacement, right? In a given place, in this, only so much water can stay. If this is all muddied water and I want clear water, I have to throw this off, clean this, and only then I can put clean water for me to drink, right? So we have to let go of all the negative emotions to make place for positive emotions. That's when you have positive, when you are feeling better about yourself, then you will reflect that, you will see that, you will attract those people, and your relationships will automatically improve. The bottom line of this book is everything is you. Any problem in your life is not caused by any individual, any circumstances, any external thing. It's all you. However, the people are reacting around you, it is because of you. The moment you get in touch with the truth, there is hope. There is hope because it is in my control. I don't have control on how you are behaving. If you are shutting the door on my face every time, is it your problem or my problem? I cannot control you. I cannot come and say, hey, why are you shutting that door? It's a bad behavior. I don't care about you. Let me see, why am I going to the same door every time if you're shutting the door on my face? Why can't I go find some other door? Or why can't I find some other place? I have options because it is me. Me and my nature and actions are in my control. You are not in my control. I cannot control you. The biggest problem we do is we try to control others. We try to control others. We have expectations. We try to control the outcome of others' actions. That is the biggest problem. We try to control the outcomes by others' actions. You cannot. So once we fix ourselves, everything will fall in place. An area that opens up by continuous use of mechanism of surrender, experiencing of real inner self. The more you become closer, go inwards and figure out and clean your muck around you, everything falls in place. Then you will realize it was never the other person, it was never the world, it was never the situation, it was all me. I am looking through colored lenses, that's all, right? And the moment it is, you fix your behavior, your interpersonal relationships will improve. Once your relationships, when you are living with very pleasant people, when you are living with beautiful mind people, obviously your consciousness will also change to the better. You will be aware of a lot of things that you didn't know before. You didn't have time to before to even think of those things. When you're physically so ill, when you're in so much pain, how can you even think of positive things? How can you even sit and read books when you're not able to sit? When you're always drowsy and sleepy, how can you even keep yourself awake to do something? Right? The moment you get awareness, you will slowly go towards spirituality. And people who are spiritual, they are physically fit. Again, let me tell you this. You can ask and point out a lot of things that, oh, so spiritual people won't get any physical illnesses. No. The way in which they deal with the physical illness, see, if there is a virus, if you have less immunity, it comes, that's okay. Ramana Maharshi, he had cancer. So are you saying that, oh, why did Ramana Maharshi get cancer? There is something also called karma, and we clearing out karma. We have to do all that, but you will not suffer. Ramana Maharshi, I don't think he suffered because of cancer, because of his enlightenment, because of his spirituality, his awareness. So the moment you are spiritually fine, you're physically fine. Physically fine means, if you see, right, the same pain tolerance in different peoples is different. If the same thing, if let's say we both fell down, somebody knocked off, we both fell down, we both got a bruise on our knees, you will be like, you will just shrug it off, you'll shake it off and say, hey, that's fine, we can just go put some band-aid and we'll be fine. You will go on with your life as if nothing has happened. Let's say I have very low tolerance to pain and I'm a very negative person. Oh my God, what is this? I started my day, I fell down, now my white pant has blood on stains on it. Oh my God, is this going to become an infection? The moment the thought comes, will it become an infection? It will become an infection because you are feeding ammo to it. That other person won't even think about all these things. None of these things will happen. It's just like, we fell, we have so many layers of skin, one skin, it's okay, it will grow back, it's fine. It's a little discomfort, it's fine. Do you see the thought process of those things? The moment you are mentally strong, physical illnesses, even if they are present, they won't bother you as much. You know how to handle them, right? So that is the preface of letting go. Chapter 1 is just about introduction. It says, know yourself. The truth shall set you free, right? We are always shackled because we are literally in a cage of our own. All these things, all these bars are created by ourselves. It is not somebody else. It is not the world. It is not the world that put us in a cage. It is not your parents. It is not their upbringing. It is not your spouse, your children, your job. None of them are putting you in a cage. You yourself are putting yourself in a cage, right? Many follow spiritual pathways, but only few find the ultimate truth. Why? Because they are free of all the shackles, right? Confusion is our salvation. Confusion is very good. Confusion is a great tool for learning because when I'm confused, I'm curious to know the difference. When I'm confused about something, I want to remove the confusion. I want to learn. I have to learn to remove the confusion. And when I learn, I become knowledgeable, right? So if you're confused, this book is for you. That's what he says. And because if you're confused about which path, why is this working? Why is that working? Why is not this working? Basically, it takes out all the bells and whistles and takes you to the crux of things and says, this is what it is, right? And while following this book, it transcends your problems along the way. So we are going to just touch the mechanism of letting go. We are going to start and end it soon. Basically, the mechanism of letting go is sudden cessation of an inner pressure. It's like we are holding on to so many things. Like when I give you like very fine stuff, let's say I give you diamonds, very tiny diamonds, a lot of them. I'm saying, be very careful. Each diamond costs millions of dollars. Be very careful. I put like literally a handful of diamonds in your hand and say that, hold on to them until I come back. You're holding, and do you just, if you give me a pencil or something, right? If you give me a pen, I'm going to hold it like this. I'm not even putting pressure. I just did this. That's it. Will I do the same if I have diamonds in my hand? I'll be holding it with my dear life. I'm like, my God, I cannot pay back millions of dollars if I lose anything, right? She put this in my hand. The moment you and let's say you're holding like this for what? 1 hour, 2 hours, your entire arm starts hurting. Everything hurts. Your neck hurts. You're like, that pressure, it screws you up completely. Now, all of a sudden she comes and it's like, oh my God, the relief. I never want to hold that again. That it's not about, if I gave you same thing, the grains of rice. If I asked you to hold the grains of rice again, will you hold it so strong? No, because it is rice versus diamonds. The value you attach to things, right? Once you let go of that, the diffuse of pressure cooker, right? If you remove all the pressure is gone, aram se, right? That dropping of the weight, the relief you find when you let go of the negative emotions, you are no longer a victim. Otherwise, what will you say? Oh my God, she knew that I have arm pain. She knew I have carpal tunnel syndrome. Why would she do that? How horrible that person is. Knowingly, why did she do it? Why did you take it? You could have said, I don't want it. Right? So when we are in that negative zone, we are always finding somebody else to blame. You are not taking the ownership. You are not taking the accountability. You are not saying that, is there a possibility that I could be wrong? Or is there a possibility that I could have done things differently? Right? The process of letting go is actually releases you from being in victim mode. You are in charge of how you feel, right? And letting go consciously and frequently at will, that is what you will learn. How can I consciously let go of things, right? And we are no longer at the mercy of the world and our reactions to it. Let's say you're a moron. You come and bother me all the time. I need not react to I need not feed to your. When will you continue to be a moron? Only when I'm reacting, because that reaction is actually giving you happiness or whatever. It's Sunakanandam, it's like sadism, right? If I don't encourage you, if I don't respond, if I stop, if I ignore you, will you still do it? I think you'll stop doing it because it's not giving you any pleasure, sadistic pleasure, right? So instead of reacting, we should learn to respond. The day you learn to respond, the world will not bother you as much. So what are thoughts? So human life is a very, very, very big elaborate struggle of inner fears. We all have fears for something. Oh, fear that my child, what will I do? Will they be successful? When you're a kid, you're like fear of losing something, losing your favorite toy, losing time to watch your favorite show, something like that. Everybody in every aspect of life have so many inner fears that we are always struggling with them. All these inner fears, they become negative energy. All this negative energy, it gets accumulated and it becomes a painful thought. And these painful thought in itself is okay. They are not painful. When you accompany it with a feeling, then they become painful, right? And one feeling can create thousands of thoughts over a period of time. And once you surrender the underlying painful feeling, all of those thoughts will disappear instantly. I firsthand experienced 5 years of pain go away in an instant the moment I surrendered the underlying thought. It was like, again, that was 19 years ago. Again, 3 years ago, I did the same thing. I did not know. Somebody was asking me questions and questions. Why this? What is bothering you? It started with that. Within 10 minutes, the pain I had for the past 4 years, it went away instantly. Just imagine, that is the mind-body connection. And those are not your conscious thoughts. Like, they have become subconscious because you have thought about it so many times that it became part of you. You're not even aware of it, So surrendered state. Let go, surrender, you taste the freedom, right? To be free of negative feelings so surrendered state is to be free of negative feelings in any given area, right? Creativity and spontaneity manifest without interference of inner conflicts. You can be creative only when you're free. You cannot create when you're shackled and put in conditions. To be free of inner conflict and expectations is to give others in our life the greatest freedom. The biggest gift you can give to, and next time you want to gift your loved ones, right? For their birthdays, for their marriage days or whatever, give this gift of freedom to them. Freedom from you. Don't have any expectations on them. Once you don't have any expectations on them, you are not judging them. You are not sizing them up. You are not disappointed by them. That's the greatest gift you can give it to somebody. And when you do this, right, it allows us to experience the basic nature of the universe. The basic nature of the universe is to be free. When it is free, when we are free as part of the universe, we create. That is our purpose of life. That is the reason we are created in this, right? So next time, that's where I'll end this topic today. Next time, we are going to talk about feelings and mental mechanisms. What do we do when we feel in a certain way? So we are